it's Shell from Scrap Secrets and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part of the Team Tiny 2022 hop, and for this month our challenge was to create a Halloween card. I'm going to be creating a slimline scene card, and we're going to be using some MFT stencils as well as some Kindred Stamps dies. There's the spooky fence, the spooky house, and the spooky tree that we're going to use the honeybee bitty buzz cutter to cut all the pieces out. So for the gate or the fence, I decided that I was going to use some holographic paper. This paper is a little bit thicker than normal cardstock, so I did have to run it through twice. The good part about these dies was that they were really easy to pop back in. I opened it up at first and didn't realize that it hadn't cut all the way through. So I just put the die back into place, popped right back in, and ran it through the Bitty Buzz cutter, and they cut out no problem. So if you're using holographic paper, I would suggest that you run it through twice. And I am now using a scrap piece of black cardstock to cut out the tree. Another great thing about this project is I used older products, new products, as well as scraps. So I'm trying to incorporate new and old things in with my scraps in all of my cards so that I can use all of my supplies. So right now I'm just marking out where I want different things to be. I decided I wanted a pathway from the fence to the house. So with forced perspective, it's going to look more narrow the closer to the house you get. So I drew in those lines, and then I went back in and I was trying to figure out where I wanted the grass to be. I wanted this to look like it has multiple layers, or so that the house was sitting up on a hill and then the tree was behind it. So I wanted to do different layers of grass. So I'm just trying to figure out where on my card all of this is going to go by placing the pieces on there and marking off areas where I want the grass to be, trying to figure out what side I want the grass to go on, what side of the stencil I want to do for the grass. But before I stencil in the grass, I want to stencil in the cobblestone or the walkway that goes up to this house. So I'm going to pull out a honeybee stencil, and I apologize, I think it's called River Rock, but I'm not sure exactly the name of it. If I remember, I will leave it below in the description box. But this is one that I believe was from the House Builder add-ons from Honeybee Stamps. And I'm using some Hickory Smoke Distress Oxide to ink that stencil up. I have masked off the sides with some washi tape, and eventually I will go back in and add a little bit of color to that because I think there's too strong of a contrast between the rocks and the ground. But now I'm going in with a couple different colors of Distress Oxide, and I believe the first color is Rustic Wilderness. And I'm just using that MFT stencil to create the first layer of grass. And there are spots that are darker than others. There are spots that are lighter. I'm trying to do the darkest at the top and then make it lighter as it goes down the scene. To create the next level, I'm going to rotate the stencil and pick where I want it to, the next hill to go. And then I'm going to be using some Rustic Wilderness. I will come back in with some of that pine needles and add a little bit of that to the area. But while I'm ink blending, I wanted to tell you a little bit about the Team Tiny hop. So it is a hashtag driven hop. If you click on the hashtag in the video title or the video description, or if you type into YouTube hashtag Team Tiny October 2022 hop, you will get everybody's videos who participates in this. So Team Tiny is a group of card makers, paper crafters who have less than 1,000 subscribers who are either looking to actively grow their channels, looking for ideas, looking to challenge themselves, or all of the above, and will participate in our hops. We have one a month and we have a theme. There's usually between 10 and 15 people included in the hop, and they are shorter videos. They're a little less than 15 minutes usually, and there are no ads in the videos because we are under 1,000 subscribers. So just wanted to say thank you guys for watching, commenting, and being subscribers. We really appreciate it. It means the world to us since we are smaller channels and we love getting feedback and comments and especially seeing our subscriber number go up. So if you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. To everybody, make sure you click on the hashtag in the video description so you can see everybody's videos and see all of the amazing projects that were made in the theme of Halloween. So now we'll go back to the card. I am still working on the card base. I have done the grass and then I went back in and added a little bit more of that, I think it's pumice stone, hickory smoke to the walkway, going back in and adding a little bit of grass on the sides of the walk. And then we're going to get ready to do the sky. So next we're going to get ready to do the night sky in one of my favorite color combinations for a dark sky. We're going to be using prize ribbon, chip sapphire, blueprint sketch, villainous potion, and then I'm going to come in with a little bit of black soot and use that around the edges to darken up the very edge of the piece. And I probably could have done this a little bit differently if I was thinking about it. I've seen a couple people do a night sky this way and I really like it, where they do darkest around the edges and then come into the lightest in the middle rather than kind of making it across. So I'm going across the paper with all of these colors, and I probably should have done more of like a rainbow arc to it, especially if you have a light source in there, which I will go back in and put a moon in there. So you see I'm going in with those blues. This is blueprint sketch now. I'm sorry, not blueprint sketch. This is chipped sapphire. And I think my chipped sapphire is dry. I probably need to re-ink it. I need to get a re-inker for this one because it's just not covering well unless I just have to clean the brush. I'm not really sure what's going on. So doing all that and then coming in with some villainous potion, which is my favorite purple. I love purple. I love purple and blue. I did not think that I was going to love this color, but I use it for almost everything. Wilted Violet used to be my go-to, and now it's Villainous Potion. I like the deep, dark purple that this is, and I think that it goes really well with these colors. So going to blend these all out, and then I'm going to come in with some black soot and go around the edges. If I was thinking about it, I would have done this type of technique for all of the colors when I was blending the sky, but for some reason I always forget about this. I forget about that and I just kind of go straight across the paper. Making sure that all of the edges blend. I'm actually going around the whole entire piece with a little bit of that black soot to kind of give it a vignette feel. If you've ever edited photos, they have a vignette setting on them, and you can do this. It kind of has the black all around and then it gets lighter in the middle, so kind of wanted that feel to it. So trying not to put too much ink on my brush because I am terrible at that. I do have a very, very heavy hand when it comes to ink blending. Now just putting everything back into place just to make sure that it looks right, make sure that I don't need to blend anything or change anything. And then we are going to get ready to, I'm adding a little bit of ink to underneath where the tree would be, as well as underneath where the house would be, to kind of give it a little bit of shadows. Again, very, very lightly doing that behind the house, underneath the house, kind of places where there would be some dark shadows in the night. We're going to start working on the house, and I'm taking a scrap of white cardstock and using 2 different colors of Distress Oxide because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. If I wanted it to be more of that squeezed lemonade, which is a bright yellow, or that mustard seed, which is kind of a darker yellow, to close in the windows. I wanted to make the windows look like they were glowing. If you also notice the front door, one of the doors is actually open. I wanted it to be like you could see inside the house. I'm going to be cutting off pieces of this scrap cardstock and gluing them behind all of these windows. Now, I had a major accident when this happened. I use Honeybee Bee Creative Glue, always have. I don't have much strength in my hands. Somehow, I squeezed the bottle and the glue went everywhere. So I had glue all over the front of this house. I had it all over my desk. I probably wasted about half a container of that honeybee glue, and I was devastated because the top just popped off of it. So really upset about that because I love that glue and I don't know what happened. Oh, okay. Anyway, back to the card. I went around the edges with some more of that gray, I think that was hickory smoke, went around the edges with that. And then I'm using my yellow lacquer pen. This is from Hero Arts. And you can see here, I have trouble squeezing things. So I was using both hands to try to get enough pressure to get this yellow lacquer out. So I'm going to cover all of the windows with that yellow lacquer, put it to the side and let it dry. And then once it was all dry, I'm going to be able to start assembling the card. So I bring over the front panel that I created, and I want the tree to be in the back and then the house to be in front of that, and then the gates to go in the very front. I didn't want anything to hinder that, so I'm just laying out how I want everything to go. And I'm going to take more of that Be Creative glue from Honeybee Stamps. Luckily, I have a couple of tubes of that, and I'm going to use that to attach everything to the card front. Other than having the glue burst open on me, I really had a good time making this card. I did not do my Halloween series this year. The past couple years, a couple of my friends and I have done a Halloween series, and we didn't do it this year, so I haven't really made a ton of Halloween cards. Though this was a perfect theme, and I had just gotten a couple of new products, using some new and old, which is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to use up my supplies. So I enjoyed making this card. I like the kind of cross between creepy and cute, because the tree is it's not super creepy. It's not a super creepy scene. So I just like the way this whole thing came together. So you'll see I'm gluing everything down into place. I glue the tree down and then the house, and then we will glue the fence to the front of it, and we'll glue it to our card base. I believe this card base is 4 by 9.5 inches. It's made out of 110-pound cardstock from Recollections from Michaels, and I guess it really has been a long time since I've made a slimline card. And I made this video way before I think I even started the Christmas series. So I think I did some slimlines in the Christmas series, but I had done this a long time ago. And I forgot what size you make slimline cards. So for some reason, I was thinking like 4 by, I think 9.25, 9.5, something like that. And then I looked at it when I was done, and I'm thinking, wow, that really looks like a big slimline card. So really they are normally around 3.5 by 8.5. That's usually what I do. So this one is a little bit larger than that, but it should still fit into a letter size envelope. So gluing that down to the card front, and then I'm going to use a circle punch to die cut a circle for the moon. I used that same mustard seed distress ink, put that down onto the front, and that's the card. So I hope you guys hop along with us. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave comments and questions below, and I will see you again real soon for another video. Bye!